There are politicians out there they've just been politicians. But you are someone who was an intellectual first. Some people don't like the word intellectual, but I mean it in the good sense of the term. You were writing for National Review. You were at the bar late at night arguing about and helping shape these ideas that you are now.
I come here for free and you insult me and you call me an intellectual.
Remind
me that I wrote for National Review. What an asshole this guy is.
That's fair. I will admit that I too wrote for National Review.
One thing that is shocking about the prior government, about the government we inherited the White House from, is if I, on January the 21st, in fact, I did ask this question, where are the biggest deficiencies in our supply chains? What are the 100 products that we're completely reliant on some other entity to make for us? Where are they made and how hard would it be to onshore that manufacturing? I asked that explicit question and the answer was, we don't know. Nobody in the prior government had actually asked these very fundamental questions. And so what is so crazy about the hyper-globalized era is that you had these basic questions about the brittleness of our supply chains that were completely uninvestigated by the very people who supported globalizing those supply chains. We were actually governed by complete morons, and we didn't even realize it until the Trump administration started to get underneath the hood of our government.
Look at the facts. The Republican plan will increase average national electricity prices by about 10%. The Republican plan will increase total household energy costs by $32 billion. That means American families will pay $32 billion more, all to please the ideological blindness of the fossil fuel industry. And that's not to mention that the Republican plan would cost America about 800,000 jobs by 2030, all across America in red states and blue states. What a terrible price to pay just to lower taxes for the ultra-rich, just to line the pockets of the fossil fuel industry, to satisfy the ideological hatred that fossil fuel industry has for clean energy, and to lose out on American energy dominance.
I'm a fiscal hawk, but I am also a realist. The way to think about this is every $300 billion is 1% of GDP. As the clip that you just showed, where I said we didn't get here in a year, we're not going to get out of it in a year, that we have to bring this down gradually because we want to do two things. We want to cut and constrain spending, and we want to grow the economy. What Senator Paul is asking for or advocating for, I think, could cause a sudden stop in the economy. I'm a deficit hawk, but I'm also a realist.
I mean, he probably wants to cut, a trillion or a couple trillion, right? You say that would be too dramatic.
Well, Robert, a trillion would be 3% of GDP.
Yeah. What would that do? I mean, because he's, I think he's a pretty smart guy. I have him on the show a lot. What do you believe that would do?
What's important here is our debt to GDP. If we don't grow, then we won't grow the tax base, and we're not going to grow revenues. We're not going to grow the economy. We inherited a mess, and we have to constrain spending, cut spending, and then grow our way out of this.